O, wala siyang para ha. So coming from the prevertebral ganglion or prevertebral ganglia. So involved siyempre, sympathetic yan, si norepinephrine together with dopamine. Okay, anong effect niya sa mga renal vessels? Deconstriction. Okay. Tapos yung intrinsic niya, ito yung most important. Yung self-regulation ng kidney, especially with regards to control ng blood flow. Ang na-observe sa kidney, the renal system is capable of maintaining a constant blood flow. Okay? Unchanging blood flow. Even if there are constant changes in arterial blood pressure. So, na-maintain nila yan. It remains unchanged to an intrinsic reflex mechanism regulating the arteriolar resistance, especially no afferent arteriole. Pero na-observe lang yun within a certain blood pressure range. Okay? So, na-observe yun between 80 to 180 millimeters mercury. So, pag ang blood pressure changes is between 80 to 180. Okay? Yung blood flow ng kidney remains unchanged. Okay? Ganun pa rin yun, 1 to 1.2 liters per minute. Even if there are changes in blood pressure, 80 to 100, 100 to 150. So, ang blood flow is still 1 to 1.2 liters per minute. So, unchanged siya. Okay? Kinokontrol ng renal system itself. Okay? Ito kasi, if you are reading different textbooks, okay? Sa ibang libro, in some textbooks, ang range nila, yung autoregulatory range, 80 to 160. In other books, 90 to 180. Pinagsama ko na lang para walang gulong. So, 80 to 180. Covered sila pareho. Okay? Yung 80 to 160 and 90 to 180 na autoregulatory ranges. Ayan, pinagsama ko na para no problem. So, 80 to 180. So, within this autoregulatory range, if we observe changes in blood pressure, it will not affect renal blood flow. So, it remains constant or unchanged. Now, if the blood pressure goes down below 80, lower na sa autoregulatory range, it will have a direct effect on renal activity. So, the renal function, renal activity decreases. Pag below the autoregulatory range. That is also observed when the blood pressure goes higher than the autoregulatory range. Pag ang blood pressure mo, especially yung systolic, nagto-200, nagto-220. Okay? So, in this condition, the increase in pressure above the autoregulatory range can lead to increased renal activity. So, pag merong changes sa blood pressure below and above the autoregulatory range, it will have a direct effect on renal activity. Okay? Makikita agad natin, we will see immediately the effect on filtration. Mag-increase agad ang filtration. Okay? Pag more than 180 o decrease ang filtration pag below 80. Pero pag between 80 to 180 ang changes, the activity ng kidney remains the same. Okay? So sa sympathetic control, sabi from the prevertebral ganglia or the pre-aortic. Okay? Ang mostly involved yung celiac ganglion, superior mesenteric and the inferior mesenteric ganglion. So, especially yung celiac. Okay? Sila yung magkocontrol na activity ng kidneys. Wala siyang parasympathetic innervation, yung kidneys. Some students, nako-confuse sila. Okay? Ang merong parasympathetic control, yung activity ng bladder, urinary bladder, hindi ang kidney. Okay? Ito kidneys to So, sympathetic control lang yan. So, from the prevertebral ganglia, okay? Yung mga celiac ganglion, superior mesenteric, and inferior mesenteric ganglia. Tapos ang effect nga, so yung mga arterioles, especially yung afferent, simpa yan, kaya constriction, acting on alpha receptors. Pag nagkaroon ng arteriolar constriction, especially ng afferent, that will decrease blood flow sa kidney o decreasing GFR. Okay? So it can also affect activity ng juxta glomerular cells sa macula densa. Oh. Kaya pwede mag-increase ng renin secretion. So, increase yung eventually yung angiotensin 2 and aldosterone. Diba? Renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. Na-recall niya yan. Okay? Thus, it can directly stimulate sodium chloride reabsorption by the PCT, acting on alpha receptors. Eventually, helping also in water reabsorption. Okay? Yan ang effect ng sympathetic neurons. Okay? On the kidneys. Sa kidney, wala siyang parasympathetic. Sabi sa autoregulation, yung intrinsic autoregulation. So, maintain yung renal blood flow. Ayan. Okay? Within an autoregulatory range. And that will also help maintain GFR. So, ano yung range? So, 80 to 180 millimeters mercury. Ayan ang sinasabi ko. This is what I mentioned before. Pag nag-decrease ang blood pressure, okay? Arterial BP, nag-decrease yung blood pressure, okay? Mag-decrease ang renal blood flow. Decrease ang renal blood flow. Diba? Decrease din ang GFR. If you are below the autoregulatory range. Pag above the autoregulatory range, yung increase in pressure will increase the renal blood flow and increase the GFR. Pero within the autoregulatory range, okay? Even if you increase 80 to 100, 100 to 150, the blood flow and the GFR remains the same. So 1 to 1.2 liters per minute. Ang GFR, nabasa nyo na yan, okay? Sino nagbasa na? Anong normal GFR? Wala pa nagbasa sa inyo. Alam niyo naman ang topic ngayon, renal physiology. So, ang normal GFR, 125 ml per minute. So, it remains unchanged. Basta andyan yung pressure changes between 80 to 180. Okay? Kasi yung autoregulation, meron two mechanisms. Meron yung pressure-sensitive mechanism, also known as the myogenic mechanism, and the tubulo-glomerular feedback mechanism. Okay, dalawa yan. So, yung autoregulation involving the pressure-sensitive mechanism o yung myogenic. So, when there is increased renal blood flow because of increased arterial blood pressure, okay, the said condition will stretch the afferent arterioles. Diba, more blood will be received by the afferent. Kasi nag-increase ang blood pressure. Okay? So, mag-increase ang renal blood flow, more blood is received by the afferent arteriole. So it will dilate the afferent arteriole. Once they are dilated, ma-stimulate yung smooth muscles to contract. Di ba yung stretch reflex? And that will cause stretch contraction ng smooth muscles. Okay? Di ba stretch reflex? Pag nag-contract yan, the smooth muscles ng arterioles, that will promote constriction of the affected arteriole. So, mag-constrict siya. So, mag-increase yung arteriolar resistance. Diba? When the blood vessel decreases its diameter, the resistance increases. So, pag nag-increase yung resistance, ma-offset niya yung increase in renal blood flow. So, dinecrease mo yung diameter, diba? Nag-increase ang resistance. So, it will prevent the entry of greater amount of blood into the glomerulus. It will offset the increase in renal blood flow. And so, yung RBF will go back down again to normal condition. Bababa, di magdi-decrease yung RBF. Okay? I-offset niya yung increase So, the RBF eventually decreases. And if the renal blood flow decreases, amount of blood entering the glomerulus decreases. So, yung ability ng glomerulus to filter, decreases. So, it is again back to normal. So, it remains unchanged. So, mag-stay yung constant, blood flow, constant GFR in the kidneys. Okay? Yan ang myogenic. Okay? If you have the opposite, so, you'll have the reverse condition happening. So, pag nag-decrease ang RBP, so, walang stretch sa afferent arteriole. So, remain normal yung activity ng afferent. So, normal pa rin ang iyong renal blood flow and GFR. Okay? Ha? Oo. Oo. Kasi yan, sa myogenic mechanism. So normal response yan ng vascular smooth muscle. So, yung stretch reflex nga, when the muscle is stretched, it will eventually contract. Kaya yung stretch ng vessel due to rise in pressure, eventually activating the muscles to contract. Kasi it will depolarize the cells and calcium enters the smooth muscle cells, causing the blood vessel to undergo vasoconstriction. As well develop yan sa renal system. Especially sa mga afferent arterioles and even the efferent. Okay? As yung another mechanism, yung tubulo-glomerular feedback mechanism. That will also help maintain a constant RBF and constant GFR. So ito naman, dependent on the amount of sodium chloride in the thick ascending. Pag nakita nyo yung TAL, abbreviation na TAL, that refers to the thick ascending loop of Henle. Hindi yan kasi yung thin ascending loop, pareho din ng abbreviation, di ba? Dapat TAL din. Pero it is not utilized. Okay? The abbreviation TAL will always refer to the thick ascending loop of Henle. We don't use that to describe or represent the thin ascending loop. Sa thick yan, nakita mo TAL, it means, it's the thick ascending loop of Henle. So yung amount ng sodium chloride sa filtrate ng filtrate present in the TAL and the distal convoluted tubule. So if there is increased amount of sodium chloride in the area and these areas ng tubules, so di ba yung ascending loop and the DCT, injunction yan, they are close to the glomerulus or the arterioles. That will form the macula densa. Kaya pag-increase yung sodium chloride sa region ng macula densa, ma-activate yung tubulo-glomerular feedback mechanism. The condition, greater amount of sodium chloride in the area, that will increase secretion ng ATP and adenosine. Mga constrictors yan. So these are vasoconstrictor agents. And that will promote arteriolar constriction. Pag nag-constrict ang arterioles, decrease ang renal blood flow, decrease yung filtration. So decrease eventually yung amount ng substances present in the filtrate, reaching the TAL and DCT. So magdi-decrease na yan yung sodium chloride pag nag-decrease na yung renal blood flow because that will decrease filtration. Okay? So offset na yung increase ng sodium chloride sa area. And that will also eventually allow the kidneys to go back to normal renal blood flow and normal GFR. Kasi di ba dito kanina, nag-increase yung sodium chloride because of increased delivery, increased filtration in the glomerulus. So greater amount of sodium chloride in the filtrate reaching the macula densa, yung TAL and DCT close to the arterioles or the glomerulus. Diba yung juxtaglomerular apparatus. So it will react by increasing release ng ATP and adenosine. These are vasoconstrictor agents. It will constrict the afferent arteriole, decreasing renal blood flow and decreasing GFR. So allowing the activity to return to normal. Okay? So back again sa constant GFR. Okay? So 125 ml per minute. And also a constant RBF, 1 to 1.5 liters of blood per minute. Okay? So this condition, yung tubulo-glomerular feedback mechanism involves activity of lazy cells. I'll present it later. Nasa ano yan? Okay? Sa region ng nephrons. Mga yan extraglomerular mesangial cells. So close din sa glomerulus. Ayan pala, extraglomerular mesangial cells. Okay? The activity is enhanced by angiotensin 2. Vasoconstrictor yan yung angiotensin 2. And antagonized by nitric oxide. Vasodilator naman siya. So as the name implies, tinan mo tubulo-glomerular feedback mechanism. So the activity starts at the region ng tubules. Loop of Henle and DCT. And eventually affecting blood flow sa glomerulus. Kaya sabi, tubulo-glomerular feedback. So yung condition sa tubules eventually affecting condition ng glomerulus. So, ibabalik lang so that it can maintain a constant GFR. So yung myogenic mechanism and the tubuloglomerular feedback mechanisms are important mechanisms explaining how the kidney maintains constant renal blood flow and constant GFR. Okay? So ayan ang tubuloglomerular feedback mechanism. O baka ma-confuse ka, in my first example, nag-increase ang sodium chloride. Dito sa main diagram, here where we have presented the diagram, so we have the opposite condition happening. Tubuloglomerular feedback rin to. Pero it will start with decreased arterial pressure. So decrease ang pressure, decrease ang glomerular hydrostatic pressure, or decreased blood flowing to the glomerulus. Okay? Passing to the afferent arteriole kasi nag-decrease ang pressure. Okay? So that will decrease GFR. Decrease yung amount ng sodium chloride reaching the macula densa. So what will happen? So there is decrease, secretion ng ATP and adenosine. So there will be no constriction ng afferent arteriole. So decrease yung kanyang resistance. So dilated yan. Pag dilated ang arteriole, more blood will enter the glomerulus. So that will eventually increase GFR. So pag nagbalik na, if the GFR, di ba nag-decrease siya? Initially nag-decrease it is now back to normal, nag-increase na ulit. The GFR is now again increase or back to normal. Merong negative feedback effect. Sa region ng glomerulus, affecting mostly the afferent arterioles. So, para i-maintain lang yung normal or constant GFR. So, yan ang tubuloglomerular feedback mechanism. Helping the myogenic mechanism. Maintain normal or constant RBF and constant GFR. Okay? So, ito yung may extra mesangial cells. So, first, di ba, we have the macula densa. Dapat yan, di ba, yung thick ascending limb of the Lobopelli and the DCT. So, specifically, distal part ng thick ascending Lobopelli and proximal part of the distal convoluted tubule. So, kung talagang gusto mo maging specific, so, distal part ng thick ascending Lobopelli connected na sa proximal part of the distal convoluted tubule. When they are close to the arterioles, especially sa afferent, they will form the macula densa. Andyan yung mga JG cells. Kasi ito yung extra glomerular mesangial cells. Yan ang laces. So they're very close to the macula densa and also to the glomerulus. Ito glomerulus. Di ba afferent arteriole na yan. Blood enters the glomerulus. Kasi ito yung efferent. It will drain blood from the glomerulus. It will allow the blood to go to the peritubular capillary, yung underset ng capillary, paglinal cortex. O kaya outside siya ng glomerulus, kaya ang tawag extra glomerular mesangial cells. And they're very close to the macula densa. Kaya they can receive immediately impulses, or they can sense what is happening in the macula densa. Kung nag-increase yung sodium chloride o nag-decrease. Kaya involved sila doon sa tubuloglomerular feedback mechanism. Yung extra glomerular mesangial cells or the laces. Yung renin-producing granular cells ng kidney. So, these granular cells, associated din yan sa juxtaglomerular apparatus. But the cells are specifically attached to the afferent arterioles. Doon naka-attach yan, yung mga renin-producing granular cells. And they're sensitive to blood flow. Amount of blood passing to the afferent arteriole. Ang mga receptors niyan, flow sensitive. Di ba you recall the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system? Pag nag-decrease ang decrease ang blood pressure, decrease ang renal blood flow. Okay? So, decrease yung blood flowing sa afferent arteriole. Activated yan to release renin. Pag nag-decrease ang blood flow. So, mga flow sensitive yung mga receptors ng renin-producing granular cells in the juxtaglomerular apparatus. And they're attached mostly to the afferent arterioles. Yung iba niyan, some are attached to the efferent, pero lesser. Greater ang number ng renin-producing cells attached to the afferent arteriole. Okay? Kasi ano ang mga functions ng kidneys? So, alam nyo na yun, ang most important, ayan. So, excretory. But they observe, the kidneys, it will not only excrete or remove waste products in the blood. It can also remove what is considered nutrients, but are in excess of what the body needs. Okay? So, ang in-excrete ng kidney, remember, not only waste products. They can also excrete nutrients, but already considered excess of what we need. So, mga excess nutrients na yun, they're also eliminated. Okay? So, involved din sila sa maintenance ng plasma volume, water ionic osmotic balance, acid-base balance. Okay? It will also help in the regulation of arterial blood pressure. Diba yung, alam nyo na, renin-angiotensin aldosterone system. Okay? Meron din siyang endocrine activities. Diba, anybody who knows what is REF? Ano yung REF? Kung walang nagre-react. Hello? Wala talagang sumag-react. Di ba dito yung mga Valerie? Sino yung mga Valerie ang pangalan dyan? Yung mga Lim. May mga Lim dito. Di ba? Apelido mga Lim. Hello? Wala. Alam niyo, lalo mga medtech. Hello?
Erythropoietin po ba?
Ay, very good. Sumagot. What's your name?
De Guzman Regina po.
Thank you. Thank you, Regina. Yan, erythropoietin yan. That is the renal erythropoietic factor. Produce din ng kidney yan. Ang rito, yung vitamin D is not produced by the kidney. Baka makalala mo, produce ng kidney yan eh. It is produced by the skin when exposed to sunlight. Anong involvement ng kidney sa vitamin D? Ang kidneys are responsible for the final activation of the vitamin D for it to exert its effect on the target cells. And they are involved, as we all know, in calcium metabolism. Hindi siya involved sa production. Ang kidneys are involved in the activation. Pero yung production ng renin, secretion ng renin, activity ng kidneys yan, and the REF. Okay? You remember the erythropoietin producing cells ng kidneys? Okay? Is present, and what do we call these cells? Ano yung mga cells ng kidney secreting erythropoietin?
Peritubular po.
Ano?
Peritubular.
Peritubular, what cells in the peritubular capillaries? You're correct. Nasa peritubular yan. Pero what cells?
Interstitial cells.
Very good. The interstitial cells of the peritubular capillaries. Pag renin, edi yung granular cells attached to the afferent arterioles. Okay? Yung activation naman ng vitamin D, it is observed happening at the proximal convoluted tubular region. Yung activation niya. Andun yung enzymes eventually responsible for the final activation of vitamin D. Nasa proximal convoluted tubule. Tapos yung kidneys, meron ding metabolic functions. It is capable of promoting gluconeogenesis, helping the liver produce glucose from non-carbohydrate agents. Okay? So, hindi na natin pag-usapan yan sa biochem na yan. So, Okay, pag-usapan natin yung mga activities and functions ng kidneys involving excretion, maintenance ng plasma volume, water balance, ionic, etc. Okay? Hindi na kasama yung gluconeogenesis. Okay? Sa biochemistry na yan. Okay? Tapos sa excretory function. So, ang na-observe, the kidneys are involved in excreting almost all waste products. Yan, nitrogenous waste, excess water, okay? Excess salts. Okay? So, in certain conditions, they're aided by other organ systems. Yung excess water, di ba, meron din sa lungs noon, yung insensible water loss through respiration. Involved din ng lungs. Pero usually, in the removal ng waste products, yung activity ng kidneys aided by the sweat glands. That explains why in persons wherein they have renal problems and they eventually develop renal failure, what is observed eventually in these patients suffering from renal failure, di ba yung sweat nila becomes, kaya sabi, ang odor is similar to urine. Yung odor ng sweat glands. Kasi if there is renal problem and there is renal malfunction, or the kidneys are not anymore functioning, the waste products are excreted using the sweat glands. So the sweat smells like urine in persons with renal failure. Kasi normally yung excretory activity ng kidneys aided by the sweat glands. Pero pag normal yan, most of the waste products are removed by the or excreted by the kidneys. What waste product is normally not excreted using the kidneys? Anong waste product? Ng body. Ano mga to, alam naman, ay sumagot to. CO2. Di ba ang carbon dioxide eliminated only by the lungs? Okay? Pag naglabas ka ng carbon dioxide sa urine, ay masaya. Pwede ka mag-vulcanize ng mga bola. Okay? So, what is excreted through the kidneys involving the urine are substances dissolved in water. Di ba yan ang urine? Okay? Kailangan dissolve in water. Okay? O hindi air. So, yung CO2 nasa air yan eh. So, that is only excreted involving the respiratory system. Pero all the other waste products and excess substances are eliminated normally by the kidneys. Okay? Kasi excretory function. So, we see these different activities ng kidneys. So, yan ang normal filtration. 125 ml per minute. So, other than filtration, we can have tubular selective reabsorption and tubular secretion. Okay? Now, in the kidneys, we always use the word reabsorption. So, bakit reabsorption? The term always used to describe activities ng cells of the renal tubules. So, bakit lagi reabsorption? Why not just simply absorption?
I-filter muna.
So, we always use the term reabsorption because the agents reabsorbed by the renal tubular cells are previously agents present already in the blood. Present na sa blood yun eh. Nag-undergo ng filtration. Di ba? They are filtered by the glomerulus. So they are removed from the blood. And they are now present in the filtrate. Yung product ng glomerular filtration. Remember the filtrate coming from the glomerulus. Okay? They are ultrafiltrate of plasma. So these are also the filtrate also contain substances present in the plasma. And the needed substances are taken back by the tubular cells. So they are reabsorbed by the tubular cells. Pag sabing absorption, normally it happens in the GIT. Kasi yun ang first exposure pa lang ng agent eh. Okay? Sa human cell. So it is absorbed by the intestinal cells. Sa kidneys, okay, they are previously, yung mga substances present in the filtrate They are previously present in the blood, taken away from the blood. Oh, okay, present as a filtrate. Oh, they are taken back, transported back to the blood by activity ng tubular cells. So they are reabsorbed. Okay? Reabsorption can also happen in the GIT. Kinawa nga, kung may naka-remember. Can you remember some agents reabsorbed by the intestinal cells? Oh. In the intestine, can we only observe absorption? Hello? O, yan na lang muna. Yes or no? Sa small intestine, is there reabsorption?
Yes.
Yes. O, sige, ano? What agent is normally reabsorbed?
Sodium.
Sodium? Wag, walang ganyan joke. Ano? Ang sodium, pag na-absorb ng intestine, di-deliver na yan sa different parts ng body. They're not transported out of the intestinal cell back to the intestinal lumen. Ano talaga yung merong reabsorption? They are presented to the small intestine, taken back by the small intestine, recycle yun, babalik ulit, transported back to the small intestine. Ay, hindi na maalala. Talaga itong mga batan to. Okay? Bile salts. Di ba yung bile salts, they are recycled. Essential sila for lipid absorption. But once the intestinal contents, they reach the ileum, there are no more agents to be digested. Okay? Using bile salts. Wala nang fats dun eh. Wala nang mga fat-soluble vitamins. So the bile salts are not excreted. Okay? Only a small amount is excreted. So majority are taken back by the terminal ileum. So yun ang nare-reabsorb. Pwede yun. Okay? Pwede rin sa GIT. Pero sa kidneys, lagi ano yan? Reabsorption. Okay? Tapos some agents are secreted. Okay? Kaya sa activity ng kidneys, so yung filtration happens in the glomerulus. Diba? Alam nyo na yan. Kaya lagi glomerular filtration. So it is performed by the glomerular capillaries. Now whatever is produced by the glomerulus when it filters the blood, it is received by the Bowman's capsule and then transported towards the proximal convoluted tubule. Pag nasa proximal convoluted tubule na, we can now observe reabsorption. What are reabsorbed? So normally yung mga nutrients, so the agents is still needed by the body but are filtered by the glomerulus. Remember, everything present in the blood, everything present in the blood can be filtered by the glomerulus, except blood cells and plasma proteins. Okay, discuss ko later yung why. Pero normally, whatever is present in the blood, they are filtered by the glomerular capillaries. Okay? Except the blood cells and the plasma proteins. That will explain why if you have a patient wherein there is blood cells, okay, o mga blood cells are present in the urine and there is also protein in the urine, that is usually indicative of a renal pathology. May renal problem na yun. Okay? Pag mayroong hematuria and proteinuria. Kasi normally the blood cells are not filtered together with the plasma proteins. Kaya pag may appearance ng blood cells sa urine and proteins in the urine, may renal problem na siya. Ang nagiging problema minsan pag ang patient females. Okay? Because in females, the urethra is very close to the vaginal opening. So pag may menstruation, the urine excreted is usually contaminated with menstrual blood. Kaya pag may hematuria sa females, so tatanungin mo muna, you ask first the patient if the patient is having her menstrual period. Pero pag lalaki, if the patient is a male and there is presence of hematuria, proteinuria, renal injury na yun. Meron na siyang renal problem. In females, tanong mo muna, baka may menstruation eh. The menstrual blood will contaminate. Usually the urine sample. Okay? Get the urine sample. Okay? Pag tapos na yung menstruation, if the menstruation is already over, okay? Examinin mo ulit yung urine ng female patient. Okay? Kasi mahirap mag-catch ng urine pag may menstruation na it is not contaminated by menstrual blood. Magkatabi lang yun. Very close yung opening ng vaginal region and the urethra sa females. Okay? Kaya nga eventually sabi whatever is filtered, almost everything is filtered. Okay? By the glomerulus. When they reach the proximal convoluted tubule, a large amount is reabsorbed. So mostly on nutrients or substances needed by the body. Okay? So more than 70% ng substances filtered by the glomerulus, they are reabsorbed by the proximal convoluted tubule. Okay? And it will flow towards the other parts ng nephron and will still have continuous reabsorption. Hanggang saan yan? Distal convoluted tubules. Okay? And observe even up to the collecting ducts or collecting tubules. Okay? Yung reabsorption. Then we can also have secretions. And usually what are secreted are waste products that are still present in the blood. Okay? Na hindi nag-undergo ng filtration. Still present in the blood. So they're secreted by the cells present in the distal part ng nephron. Usually yung DCT and collecting ducts. The distal convoluted tubules and the collecting ducts. So yan ang mga major activities na observe sa kidney. Filtration, reabsorption, and secretion. Pag filtration sa glomerulus, pag reabsorption, secretion sa tubular cells. Okay? So hanggang ano yan, sa collecting ducts. Tapos eventually, magpo-form na ng urine. So yun ang mag-deliver into the calyces out from the collecting ducts. Okay? So ang na-observe, everything present in the blood, blood cells, water, so everything, entering the afferent arteriole or going to the glomerulus. They're filtered by the glomerulus. Okay? Pero tingnan mo once they're filtered, na-filter na. So, walang blood cells. Okay? Ayan the blood cells naturally are present in the blood. But once they enter the glomerulus, most of these substances and water salts, etc., are filtered by the glomerulus, except for the blood cells. So, yan yung filtrate. Okay? Ang kasama pa dyan, plasma proteins. Hindi rin ma-filter yun. Okay? So, once they are now inside the proximal convoluted tubule, majority of these substances, especially the nutrients, hindi na yung waste products, especially yung nutrients, they are reabsorbed by the proximal convoluted tubules. And some are reabsorbed in the loop of Henle, and also, water, and even in the distal convoluted tubules and collecting ducts. Sa mga distal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, and collecting ducts, ang mostly reabsorbed dyan, electrolytes and water. Kasi nga, most of the nutrients are taken by the proximal convoluted tubules. Okay? So, the said agents na reabsorb, they are transported back to the general circulation, utilizing now the peritubular capillary. So, pag renal cortex yun, peritubular capillary. Pag renal medulla, vasa recta. Babalik na sila. Yung peritubular capillary, di ba may connection sa venous system? So, they're transported back to the general circulation. Yung water, salts, nutrients. Okay? Majority of these agents are taken by the proximal convoluted tubule. Okay? So, doon sa loop of Henle, DCT collecting ducts, ang nare-reabsorb nila mostly water and electrolytes. Okay? very few yung nutrients. Okay? So, eventually, okay, so yung whatever are remaining in the filtrate, they will eventually reach the collecting duct and excreted as urine. O yan ang ma-excrete as urine. Yung mga waste, excess water, excess salts, okay? Yung urea and excess nutrients. Okay? Basta mga excess and waste products. Yun ang incorporated sa urine. Kaya normally, the agents excreted, basta na-excrete ng nephron or excreted by the kidneys, these agents are the agents filtered by the glomerulus. Na-filter sila. Okay? You know, waste products, they're filtered and not reabsorbed. Pag mga na-excrete na agents, ang condition, they are filtered agents. So, agents filtered by the glomerulus, not reabsorbed by the tubules. And some are secreted by the tubular cells. So those are the agents dissolved, present in the urine, excreted by the renal system. Okay? Ito siya. Okay? So yung mga na-excrete na agents, they are filtered agents, not reabsorbed and secreted. Ayan. Yun ang mga agents present in the urine. Sila yung na-excrete. Kailangan ma-filter. Tapos, they are not reabsorbed by the tubules. And some are secreted. These are the ones eventually released. Okay? Okay? Or excreted by the renal system. Yan ang kondisyon na. Okay? So, yung filtration happens where? In the glomerulus. Okay? Ang usually, pag pinagpe-present ng glomerulus, ang pinapakita, cortical eh. So, okay. Greater ang size ng afferent, smaller ang size ng efferent. Di ba pag juxtamedullary equal eh? Equal ang diameter ng afferent and efferent. So, yan ang magpipilter, yung glomerulus. Okay? Kasi ang glomerulus, di ba sabi, covered or has a capsule, we call the Bowman's capsule. Okay? In some textbooks, pag kinumbay niyang glomerulus sa Bowman's capsule, they are referred to as the Malpighian corpuscle. Pero in most textbooks, they call it the renal corpuscle. Okay? Kapag nabasa mo yung renal corpuscle, it refers to the glomerulus and the Bowman's. We seldom see now the term Malpighian. Okay? Ang common ginagamit ngayon, renal corpuscle, representing the glomerulus plus the Bowman's capsule. Okay? Kasi ito pa yung mga important cells in the said part ng nephron, close to the glomerulus. Di ba na-encounter nyo na yung extra glomerular mesangial cells, yung mga afferent arteriole, efferent arteriole, di ba yung macula densa. Okay? Now, other than these cells, pati yung mga juxtaglomerular cells, meron ding intraglomerular mesangial cells. The intraglomerular mesangial cells are the cells present sa region ng glomerulus. Okay? Glomerulus na to, di ba? Okay? Ayan yung afferent, okay? Allowing blood to enter the glomerulus. Tapos yung exit niya, efferent. So, glomerulus na yan. So, the intraglomerular mesangial cells are present in the glomerular region. Sa basement membrane ng glomerulus, okay? And sa endothelium nung capillaries. Okay? Andun sila. Ayan, mga intraglomerular mesangial cells. Okay? Di ba yung extraglomerular involves a tubuloglomerular feedback mechanism? Discuss na yan, okay? A while ago. And they're essential in determining amount ng sodium chloride. Okay? Or they help determine amount ng sodium chloride sa filtrate present in the macula densa, yung thick ascending lobe, Henle, and the distal, proximal part ng distal convoluted tubule. Okay? Kasi anong role niyan? Yung intraglomerular mesangial cells. So the intraglomerular mesangial cells, sabi, present between the basement membrane and the endothelium ng capillaries. Okay? They can also affect renal blood flow. Can also affect GFR. Pero basically, they're essential to promote structural support ng glomerulus. Involved sila sa mesangial matrix formation. Capable also of phagocytosis. So, para mag-remove ng mga anything that is foreign sa area ng glomerulus. They can secrete prostaglandins and cytokines. And can also help monitor amount of glucose sa capillary lumen. So, yan ang mga role ng intraglomerular mesangial cells. Okay? Di ba yung extraglomerular, yan ang lysis. Present naman siya between the afferent and efferent arteriole close to the macula densa. Kaya nga, involved siya sa tubuloglomerular feedback control mechanism. Yung feedback na sobrahan ng iya. Okay? And considered part siya ng juxtaglomerular apparatus. Okay? So, at this point, are there questions? Hello, may tanong kayo?
Wala na.
Okay, so break muna tayo ha. So let's have a break to. Sorry. So mga 10 minutes. 10-15 minutes. Thank you.